in the Chariot, we see a young man riding a chariot, and chariots are obviously linked to victory. We do have chariot processions after a big victory, for example, in ancient Rome. So when this card shows up, it is about victory and progress. We also have these two sphinxes here, which are about the conscious and the subconscious mind and the contradictory forces within the charioteer that he has under control to make things happen. This card is ruled by Cancer, which is obviously a cardinal water sign. And Cancers are usually very sensitive. So they have a soft and sensitive nature that needs to be protected by a hard shell. And just like the shell is housing the sensitive insides of the Cancers, so the body is housing the soul. And so the chariot is housing the charioteer. And in Crowley's deck, we also have the Holy Grail in this card. So the Holy Grail is housing, the Grail is housing the blood of life. This card is connecting Bina to Gebura. So it is crossing the abyss. You know, above the abyss, we have the supernal triad, pure divine consciousness, concepts that are above anything we could fathom, the Holy Trinity that makes life possible. And above the abyss, we have, as the energy, moves downwards and becomes denser and starts to manifest. Below the abyss, we actually have some recognizable structures around us and concepts around us that we can grasp and talk about. So he is carrying that divine light of pure consciousness above the abyss downward into manifestation, right? We do see this a city in the background. Arthur Edward Waite, who created this deck, who was a Christian mystic, designed this to be the city of Jerusalem, the city of God, if you will, Yeah. So Cancer is obviously the season. During Cancer season, we have the summer solstice, when the earth has the most sunlight. And that connects this card also to the Sephiroth ruled by the sun, which is Tiferet, which is all about Christ consciousness, the highest point a human being is supposed to be able to achieve in their enlightenment when they climb the Kabbalistic tree of life back up after, that's the whole idea. The path to enlightenment is climbing the Kabbalistic tree of life back up from the point of densest manifestation. And number 6, Christ consciousness, balance, the sun, beauty should be the highest point we can achieve right now. And this card is also connected to that, as well as to the High Priestess, because Cancer is obviously ruled by the moon. Exactly. So we also have the Yoni and Lingam here. Creation energy, again, combination of polarities. And shoulder plates relate to Urim and Tumim. The shoulder plates of the supposed high priest in Jerusalem. Then we also have the canopy in the background, which is related to the high priestess again. Rachel Pollack actually points out in her book, 78 Degrees of Wisdom, that there are signs for all the previous cards of the major arcana in the Chariot. So the shoulder plates relating to the Hierophant, but also the High Priestess, the wand, and the ceremonial magic signs here are related to the magician. Then we have the stars on the canopy, which point to the Empress, and then the Yoni and Lingam to the lovers. So he combines all of these forces, and he's now a mature person making things actually happen. The Hebrew letter is Chet, and it means field or fence. So with this card, you are building a fence, you're building a fence. So he is building a fence around his property, and he's building a fence and defining things. He's defining things by going for what it is that he wants. The sphinxes, obviously, aside from symbolizing duality, also point to the riddle of the Sphinx in Thebes, which was the question that the Sphinx asked everybody. What creature walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon, and 3 in the evening? And the answer is obviously man, because when we were babies, we crawl on 4 legs. For we crawl. Then as adults, we obviously walk on 2. And when we are all in our old age, we need a cane to support us. And everybody who didn't know the answer was being devoured by the Sphinx, which tells us that we need to know our humanity, our human nature as people, in order to not be devoured by life. And he knows. Yeah. Then Rachel Pollack also points out that there is a twist here, because Oedipus knew the answer to that riddle, but he didn't know himself. He didn't know what was supposed to happen. He didn't really know himself, his true nature, because he was obviously Oedipus. He didn't know he would kill his father and marry his mother. So there's that. Just knowing your human nature does not mean you know yourself, because there's so much more. But also, we're also very, very human. We're very human. That's the Venusian mystery, is that it's all one. It's all one. There's a divinity in our flesh. In our flesh. Incarnation is beautiful. There's no hierarchy here. The tree of life, in the tree of life, it's all connected. Everything is in Keter. That's the whole point. You can map it out and make it complicated, or you can just say we're all one, we're all love, and the harmonious relationships of all things. It is beauty, and it's love. Okay. Anyway, number 7 is, of course, also related, speaking of Venus, to the sphere ruled by Venus, Netzach, and that's about victory. So when this card shows up reversed, I have had plans canceled, journeys blocked and not happening, vehicles break. That happens. So when this card shows up reversed, there is usually some sort of blockage here when it comes to a journey, or some journey not happening, progress not happening, progress stalling, stagnation. When this card shows up upright, this is a good sign. It's really about forward movement, victory, progress, and swiftness. Yeah.